got that shit on though.
Yo, what's good? Sorry that I sound a little bit weird. I'm using a different mic this time. I may sound off in a few instances of the video, so yeah, I just want to talk about the last chapter of One Piece because oh my lord, it's kind of good. I ain't gonna lie, well, it's very good. I wish every One Piece chapter was like this. Alright, let's get straight to the point. The thing I want to talk about is the more introduction slash basically explanation of what happened within the Royal Palace, the whole Loki incident, as I was like to call it, you know what I'm saying? Basically, Rod essentially explains to Nami, mostly Nami, is that from his perspective, Loki essentially killed almost 100 giants with the exception of Jaru, which is why Jaru has a giant sword in his head. Luffy basically notices the fact that some of the skulls are bigger than usual, and then Rod essentially explains some of them have ancient giants blood within them, like Oz and then Lil Oz Jr. from moving forward, which Pro-X would explain why Jaru is so gigantic and huge. And he even says some of the giants have that DNA slash ancient giants blood within them essentially. It also includes King Herod himself, which we're finally seeing a portrait of him. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw him, I thought he had scars. It instantly, when I saw his head, it instantly reminded me of the exam proctor from part 1 of Naruto, the one who was doing the practical exams within when he took off his headscarf. It instantly reminded me of that. And then Rod basically just said that, oh no, those are scars from the time he had to remove his horns, because apparently he did that as a symbolic gesture to signify, not to signify, but basically him doing so essentially represented the fact that having those horns represented a time when Elbaf was at its one state period, essentially, where ancient giants were roaming free. Essentially, he did that as a symbolic gesture, I guess. Essentially, that's in my opinion, anyways. That's the way I see it, and probably all the other giants see it that way. Essentially, this dude, I ain't gonna lie, he looks sick as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I heard other people saying that, oh, he kind of looks like Kaido. People are speculating that he could be Kaido's father or some shit. I'm like, I don't know about that, man. But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. But anyway, Rod also said was the strongest Elbaf king the land has ever seen, essentially. Personally, but I guess he wasn't strong enough to stop Loki. Apparently, we need to see that full flashback. I feel like we haven't. He's not telling the entire truth. He's not purposely lying, of course, but I feel like there's stuff that's missing just of this conversation. There's obviously stuff that's missing that we essentially need to see. Then the next part, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The next part, it kind of I don't know, not aggravate. It kind of irritated me the most, because I'm like, come on, Zoro. Zoro essentially said oh, why you giants having beef with each other? Aren't you guys supposed to be friendly or all that stuff? He's basically it's, of course, it's relating to the fact he's talking about Hadrudin being the other son of King Herod, but he's from another mother essentially. But he didn't get special privileges just like Loki, mainly because the mother was from a different clan that I'm assuming they didn't have good relationships with, or that problems or whatever. And then Zoro's response was essentially, well, aren't giants aren't they all supposed to be the same and cool and everything? I'm like, Zoro, come on. And then Rod obviously responds with the whole hey, humans kill each other over stupid stuff land and all that resources, So it's of course they're going to be giants, different giant clans or nations that exist maybe within Elbaf or outside of Elbaf. We saw it with So essentially, where not just So, even Molly from the Revolutionary Army, and of course that probably other, even hell, So literally one of the comments that essentially still stays in my mind in relation to Elbaf, that So basically called the Elbafs of giants savages, and I'm like, I still remember that to this day, So hey man, I'd be joking around oh yeah, this character is he don't see race type shit, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, and also, what else? This off the cuff, obviously. And I want to end this quickly. Rod essentially explains the only person who pretty much almost fucked with him from the start was Hadrudin, in spite of his quote unquote weird tendencies, Loki, not Loki, Hadrudin essentially like fucked with him mainly because he essentially he can essentially draw like sea stars, or essentially it's the reason why he became like the navigator, quote unquote, more or less, and they essentially became best friends. And because of that, Rod seemingly is like he's like the only one who like basically respects Hadrian. Like, and I'm sure the other crewmates within the New Giant Warriors feel the same about Hadrian. And then he basically explains Hadrian's dream to unite all the other giant clans and become the king of the giants. And then Zoro, and honestly, like that's for because I'm not gonna lie, this made me care more about Hadrudin, like way more, like 100%. Like this made me care about him way more, like previously, like a little bit, you know, not to the point where like, oh yeah, like favorite, like you know, he could become a potential favorite side character within this arc, but yeah, so far it's looking good, honestly. Like yeah, like I like that, like more development from the side characters, you know, who have been set up and stuff like that. So yeah, what else? Then the next part is Gungo, one of the Holy Knights, is basically slapping around Loki while he's chained up. And it's essentially like she's basically torturing him to make him say the fact that they want him to join the Cast Knights for some reason. Obviously, like Loki is like, no, I'm not going to join you scumbags. Obviously not, you know. And then she keeps wailing on him, and she's of course showing off like her new abilities. I'm not gonna. At first, when I saw this, I thought like, oh, is this emo real? I'm like, no, this is like an error for, but it kind of looks like emo. And also, she can like make her arms and legs bigger and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if that's like her actual Devilful abilities or it's probably like some technology. They must have some technology or something like that up in the Holy Land, you know, like maybe some Vegapunk stuff or whatever. But anyways, it's just speculation and stuff like that so far, honestly. Then the last but not least is the part that like, okay, so yeah, probably saw the title where it's like I essentially got spoiled on this mainly because people couldn't shut the hell up about this because I'm talking about it feel like it leaks. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, like for me, how I gauge how hype a chapter is okay, how much are people talking about the leaks, you know? And that would usually be like the thing that people are talking about will be like the most hype part about the chapter, usually, like 9 times out of 10. But in this case, like I don't care that I got spoiled on this dude's name or whatever, or I've seen like his face before, you know? Like this chapter was so good that this like Shamrock reveal was not the best part of the chapter to me. Like it was more revelations and more like extension of giant law in general and how their culture works in general. Like to me that was like one of the most interesting parts, you know. And of course, like the Shamrock, I mean, he looks cool, you know. Not gonna lie, I don't know how to feel about his design. It has to grow on me a bit, but yeah, like like the contrast between him and Shanks is like, it's holy shit, it's almost night and day. Because literally it's like this dude is looking clean as hell. He looks shaven, he has luscious long hair and stuff like that, and he has like this very like regal, like royal, like almost royal knight, like what soldier look to him. And then you compare that to Shanks, it's like it's almost the complete opposite down there. I think that contrast is on purpose, you know. So yeah, and that's it. Oh yeah, and to speak on like the other part about in relation to Herod and him wanting to essentially make Elbath like peaceful, that and wants to get away from the whole warrior stake. To me, it's like I've seen other people essentially explain like, oh, like him wanting to make Elbath peaceful is like a world government ploy to essentially like almost like demilitarize Elbath and make it too peaceful to the point where like he wants, like Herod either wanted Elbath to become a world government like affiliated country, which and then like the world government could like infiltrate or not. Like he was probably like influenced by somebody else, somewhere along the lines, you know, because that has essentially like there are a few examples where that has happened in real life from like history and stuff where like the country will purposely like be demilitarized, like intentionally or not, and then like other forces will like come in and infiltrate, do essentially nefarious like means, whatever, you know. So yeah, I just want to point out, but I don't know if Oda will. I mean, I don't know if Oda will like essentially go that far because at the end of the day, this is still like a shonen anime at this point, or manga. I mean, series, film. So I don't know. It would be cool if you went that route, but yeah, that's all right. Man, this video was supposed to be way short, like 5 minutes, but I ended up just rambling. Whatever. I probably like cut it down there. So yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know if I'll do like One Piece reviews or something, but I'll pretty much just talk about anything, whatever I'm watching, playing, um, just anything media related. So yeah, stay tuned for that. The next time I upload. Bye.